Minister Latif Siddiqui arrested in Shapla Chottor killing case. NCP leaders face police barricade at Bahubol on way to Habiganj. Prime Minister's invitation to visit India being reviewed, says Foreign Minister. Jamaat places 9 demands before Election Commission. Those were the headlines. Good evening, viewers. I'm Nafisa Nawal with English Bulletin. Former Minister Abdul Latif Siddiqui has been arrested in Shapla Chottor killing case. Dhaka Metropolitan Police arrested him from his Gulshan residence on Wednesday evening. His name remains at number 10 on the list of accused in the case of murder and crimes against humanity surrounding Hifazat-e-Islam's rally at Shapla Chottor in capital Motijheel in 2013. Latif Siddiqui had earlier announced his decision to surrender in this case of crimes against humanity. If he is not arrested, he was also supposed to surrender in the International Crimes Tribunal on next Sunday or Monday and apply for bail. NCP leaders have taken a position on the highway in the face of police barricade on their way to Habiganj. At around 5 p.m. on Wednesday, police stopped them on the highway near Rashidpur gas field on their way to Habiganj. At that time, NCP convener and opposition chief whip Nahid Islam, chief coordinator Nasruddin Patwari, chief organizer of Northern Region Sarjis Alam and other leaders and activists stayed on the highway soaked in rain. Earlier, police stopped them in Sri Mongol too. After being stuck there are about half an hour, NCP leaders' convoy crossed police barricade and set off again towards Habiganj. On Tuesday evening, NCP announced a protest program against the attack on the convoy of NCP central leaders in Habiganj. Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka Dinesh Trivedi has said India is eagerly waiting for Prime Minister Tareq Rahman's visit. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister said that Bangladesh is reviewing Prime Minister's invitation to visit India. On Wednesday, Dinesh Trivedi visited the Foreign Ministry for the first time after assuming office in Dhaka. He paid a courtesy call on Foreign Minister Dr. Khalil Rahman and State Minister Shama Ubaid separately. Later, Dinesh Trivedi told journalists that he had a very good discussion. The Indian envoy who came to Dhaka with the rank of minister talked about moving forward with the relations between the two countries. In response to a question, he said that a joint working group is working on the renewal of the Ganga water sharing agreement. He said that a lot will happen if Prime Minister Tareq Rahman visits India. Prime Minister's Special Assistant for Health Affairs Dr. S.M. Ziauddin Haidar said nursing education curriculum will be made modernized. The Prime Minister issued directives for reshuffle for the health sector. Ziauddin Haidar said the number of nurses in the country is 1,21,000. Recruitment will be held soon in the vacant positions of the health sector. He made the comments at the press briefing at the Secretariat on Wednesday following his Philippines visit. To improve quality of nursing education in line with the model of Philippines, to this end, the government is undertaking a mega project of nearly $150 million with the financial assistance by Asian Development Bank (ADB). Prime Minister Tareq Rahman has met Tahsin Abdullah, a schoolboy whose heartwarming smile touched millions. Tahsin went to the Secretariat along with his father and younger sister on Wednesday. A photograph of Tahsin during the closing ceremony of Notun Kuri Sports at Army Stadium in the capital on July 27 went viral on social media, showing Tahsin in his school uniform stretching out both hands towards the Prime Minister with an expression of pure joy. But behind that heartwarming smile was a story of deep personal grief. In July 2025, Tahsin lost his elder sister Tasnia in tragic fighter jet crash at Milestone School in Uttara. During the meeting, Prime Minister asked Hassan about this ambition. Jamaat Islami has placed a 9-point demand before Election Commission, including cancellation of the contractual appointment of Additional Secretary Muhammad Samsul Alam. Jamaat observes that the upcoming local government election will lose neutrality as Samsul Alam was affiliated with BNP. Jamaat Secretary General Mia Gholam Parwar said after a meeting at the Election Commission on Wednesday afternoon, leaders of the opposition Jamaat held a meeting with the Chief Election Commissioner on the local government polls. They raised these allegations after a meeting with the CEC on several issues, including local government elections. The Appellate Division State High Court ordered that barred law enforcement agencies from placing individuals under shown arrest or harassing them in the absence of a specific criminal case. The Apex Court also directed the High Court to dispose of the rule issued in the matter within 4 weeks. The Appellate Division bench headed by Chief Justice Zubair Rahman Chaudhary issued this order on Wednesday. Earlier, the High Court had ruled that if no specific case was pending against a person, the respondents would not be allowed to place that individual under shown arrest or subject them to any form of harassment. Attorney General Barrister Ruhul Qudus Kajul represented the state, while senior lawyer Barrister Sarah Hussain and advocate Syed Mamun Mahmood appeared for the petitioner. Now a short break. We will be back soon with US and Iran trade attacks after a 4-day pause. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. The Anti-Corruption Commission ACC is looking for the officials involved in the centres that recorded 100% voting in the much discussed 2018 parliamentary polls. ACC has sent letters to various departments to investigate allegations of money transaction by the ousted Army League in the 2018 elections. The allegations state that leaders and activists of various levels and high-ranking government officials under the leadership of Sheikh Hasina used state power to win the polls. Meanwhile, the ACC has launched a drive to take control of another flat belonging to dismissed Major General Jiaul Ahsan in Mirpur DOHs. On July 20, the ACC conducted a similar drive at one of his duplex flats in Jalshri housing project in Naranganj. Eminent figures have expressed concern over the lack of media reform and lack of protection for journalists even after July revolution. Speakers expressed this concern at a discussion program organized by the Communication and Research Foundation at the National Press Club in this morning. They said that it is necessary to ensure overall accountability of the media's work. They highlighted the importance of the fight against fascism and the proper implementation of the July Charter. The discussants called for the unity of the media workers, job security, fair remuneration and security, and the speedy implementation of the recommendations of the Media Reform Commission. The country's manufacturing sector has been hit hard by the disruption of LNG supply to gas-dependent industries. Although the crisis has been going on for several years, the situation in the last week is worrying. The production of all these factories has already come down by half. In addition to the reduction in production capacity, the production costs have also increased. At that same time, the quality of products is declining. There is also fear of increasing unemployment if these factories are closed. Traders say that if the energy crisis continues for a long time, many garment export orders will be lost. The High Court on Wednesday fined GPH Ispat Dhaka 5 crore for filing a new writ petition while concealing information about a pending stay order before the Appellate Division's Chamber Judge Court. A High Court bench comprising Justice Muhammad Nazrul Islam Talukdar and Justice Mahmood Hussain passed the order following a hearing on Wednesday. The court ordered the company to deposit the fined amount with the Supreme Court Registrar General's office within the next 1 month. The High Court directed the authorities concerned to spend the money on the medical treatment of injured July fighters. Viewers, we will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News English Bulletin. Now news around the world. After a 4-day pause, the US-Iran attacks have been traded again. Iran reportedly launched a missile attack targeting US bases in Jordan, while US-Saudi Arabia joint strikes on Iran-backed militias in Iraq killed 20 fighters. In a statement on X on Wednesday, US Central Command said Iran's IRGC launched multiple ballistic missiles in an attempted surprise attack on US forces based in Middle East. All missiles were intercepted and US forces remain vigilant and at a high state of readiness. Saudi Arabia and US CENTCOM said the joint airstrikes targeted Iran-backed militias in Iraq responsible for attacks on American troops and Saudi energy infrastructure. US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had a meeting at White House in Washington. This marks their first sit-down since launching a joint war against Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Tuesday's closed-door meeting lasted about 90 minutes and was positive and productive. In social media posts, Trump described a very good meeting where many important subjects were discussed without providing further details. They reaffirmed ironclad commitment to ensuring that Iran never has nuclear weapons. Iran is expected to receive a first shipment out of up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launches within weeks, the Reuters reported, citing 3 sources familiar with the deal. The purchase, valued at $60 to $70 million, is one of the Tehran's largest known efforts to strengthen its short-range air defense capabilities since the launch of Israel-US joint war on the country. The contract covers the purchase of between 300 and 400 man-portable air defense systems, including Chinese-made QW-12 and FN-16 missiles. FIFA proposed a plan to create a $20 billion commercial subsidiary called FFE to manage the World Cup and other major tournaments, while selling minority non-controlling stakes of up to 21% to private investors to raise USD 4.2 billion. FIFA announced its plan to sell a large minority stake in a new company that will run its main events, including the World Cup and Club World Cup, as part of a plan to triple the amount of development money it dishes out to its 211 member associations. Before ending the bulletin, top stories once again. Former Minister Latif Siddiqui arrested in Shapla Chokpur killing case. NCP leaders face police barricade at Bahubol on way to Habiganj. Prime Minister's invitation to visit India being reviewed, says Foreign Minister. Jamaat places 9 demands before Election Commission. US and Iran trade attacks after a 4-day pause. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us.